take a moment to welcome everybody to the Watch This Shit podcast. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. My name is Seneca, the movie professor, and I have my collaborator and corroborator here. Young Sam, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yo, it's Young Sam, aka the Movie Apprentice.
There we go. There we go. All right. With this podcast, we're going to give you the definitive decision on whether you should go view a new movie release or not. It's real easy. If we say watch this shit, stop what you're doing and enjoy some good cinema. If we say don't watch this shit, avoid it like sitting next to people in the theater
Wait, wait,
eating
wait, wait,
stinky
wait,
food.
wait, wait,
Uh
wait,
oh.
wait. We're reviewing a TV show.
We are, but the intro's still the same.
Okay.
The intro's still the same. We'll talk to him about it when we get on that subject.
Cool, cool.
If we say don't watch this shit, avoid it like sitting next to people in the theater eating stinky food. Or don't, do what you want. It may be fun. It may cost you your ability to breathe for a couple hours. You don't want to listen to us, you put your life in your own hands. We doing things a little differently today. Instead of a movie, we looking at a streaming series. Secret Invasion, or as we call it around my house, Nick Fury is a motherfucking pimp. Why they got him in distress? The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been the cause of many great movie-going experiences. When it was announced that they were going to produce television that coincided with the storylines of the movies, most people were excited. Personally, I feel like it had an amazing start. WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, What If, and Loki were all great entertainment. The first of them coming out during the pandemic. People were starved for good content as movie theaters were not really an option. So Marvel it wasn't being scratched. I remember sitting up in the bed when the Marvel logo came on for WandaVision. It felt like seeing an old friend after such a long time. But everything has an expiration date. Though that's one of the lessons I've learned in life. The more recent shows have been met with a lot of mixed reception. Hell, so have the movies. Hindsight being what it is, I've expressed that Marvel should have taken a purposeful hiatus after Endgame. The pandemic, one had them kind of scrambling to try and get the content out. I know they have to think about the money, but taking a step back and reorganizing after such a climate changing event could have set them on a sustainable course that would allow them to run this process over and over for 15-year period. Instead, we have Secret Invasion, the weakest of the Marvel TV series to come out. Sam, what is your general thoughts on the Marvel train, and do you believe it's losing any steam?
Oh yeah, it's definitely losing its steam. You made a good point about how after the pandemic, it was I th- they were struggling for content, and it was well,
Hmm.
the viewers were struggling for content, and so when you first saw that WandaVision Marvel, it's like okay, yeah, 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 and then as it as it's gone on, as it's all the series have gone on, it's just been so just dry, uneventful, just same old, just follow the same formula. It's just
Hmm.
no, it's not good in my opinion.
It's not. It hasn't been. Not for a while.
Mm. No, no. Like, and I agree. After they dropped Endgame, if they would have just took a pause, like
Hmm.
after like came out back after the pandemic, just dropped a trailer real quick. Whoo!
Yeah, people would have been excited
Mm-hmm.
instead of skeptical, which they were when Black Widow hit. All right, so talking about Secret Invasion, the highlight, and probably the only highlight for me, was the series protagonist. Samuel L. Jackson is out here delivering the best lines of the entire MCU. Are you out of your reptilian ass mind? They should have ended each episode with him dropping that heat. It was so good and expertly delivered. I wish the rest of the writing was along those same lines. Unfortunately, one of the things that brought down the material is the story. Jackson is one of those actors that can change poorly written scripts into an entertaining performance, but most actors can't do that. Look at Snakes on a Plane for an example. Terrible movie, even in premise, but Jackson has such conviction in the way he approaches the material. Young Sam, how you feel about Sir Samuel L. Jackson's portrayal of Nick Fury on this one?
Oh, it was good. We got to see old man Nick Fury, and
Hmm.
as you said, he delivers. a really good performance with what he had to work with. Um, so yeah, yeah, I liked his performance. It was my s- it was a close tie to the other person that I liked the best.
And I know who that is. I know exactly who that is. You'll get a chance to talk about your boy.
Oh no, no, no. Oh no, not my boy, it's my girl.
Oh, so I don't know who it is. I
No,
thought it
you don't
was
know
the
who
guy
it
that
is.
plays Gavin.
No,
Huh.
nah,
It must be Olivia Colman then. It has to be. I can't think of anybody else. Okay, we'll talk about
Yeah.
it. All right, back to the story. Let's see if I can sum it up. Nick Fury was off in space bullshitting around. He told Skrulls, an alien race of shapeshifters they, that have sought refuge on Earth, that he would find them a home. While out there, he realized these motherfuckers don't have anywhere else to go and proceeded to use them to complete his missions and assignments off the books. Well, once years went by and these aliens were still homeless, some of them got a little fed up and formed an alliance to force his hand. He could either find them a home or give them the powers of the Avengers to become super scrolls and they could go do it themselves. It sounds nothing like the comic storyline it was based on, I know, which
Mm,
is probably one of my biggest complaints. These adaptations can be interesting. Remember, we've already read the story, in one form. So why make it as predictable so that somebody could just go back and read the trade paperback and know everything that you're doing? But this series is Secret Invasion in name only. I won't go into detail, but the coolest thing about the books, the coolest thing is how the secret invasions of the scrolls eventually led to Norman Osborn overtly invading and taking over Shield. Because so many characters are off the board, the story would never match its comic counterpart. Young Sam, in reference to the story, did you feel any intrigue or espionage from this plot?
negative. Nothing. It's like you see the if you know the comic, you're like, okay, like you kind of have a sense what's gonna happen, but then it's like, what the? You ask yourself, what is this?
Hmm. The entire time.
That's yeah. I was like, what are they doing? Like, you have so much material to work with, but you choose this story. But okay, I guess.
It almost seemed like they were making it up as they went along. That's not that's not a good way to do a big budget, uh, a big budget affair, a big budget Marvel production. You're just
Mm-hmm.
kind of winging it. No, thank you. Nobody wants to see that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
All right. Uh, this is not going to be a popular opinion. I mean, whenever I bring it up, but it has to be said. Amelia Clark, not a good actor. Everything she's in is brought down by her inclusion. She is wooden and robotic in all of her deliveries. Even her stare is blank and lifeless. If I didn't know any better, I would swear that she wasn't real. Game of Thrones was made worse by her acting. Terminator Genesis was made worse by her acting. Solo was made worse. You get the point. I'm surprised how many geek properties she makes it into. She did what, two nude scenes in season one of Game of Thrones, and all the nerds fell in love with her. I don't get it at all. And the decision to elevate her to Captain Marvel level strength by the end of the series is going to come back and bite them in the ass. Sam, do you like Clark, or am I being too hard on this non-acting bitch?
Give me all that. Uh, I like her in looks. Just her acting is very
You
blah.
like her looks? What do you like about her
Yeah, I
look?
like her in looks. I like she's a pretty woman.
Is she?
Um, to me, she's a pretty woman, but I
She's not.
mean,
She's not Scarlett Johansson. So Scarlett
no, she's
Johansson
not
has been in
ScarJo.
the MCU. Florence Pugh has been in MCU.
She's not either of them. Like
No,
she is
not even
somebody's cup of
close.
tea. I was just
Oh,
saying, it's
okay.
like she looks nice. I think that's why they gave her something in the MCU because she looks nice. But as far as acting, I don't know if she went to an acting school or something, but she could be a little better.
Yeah, I know she has some a situation with her brain.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
big medical procedure that she almost lost her life. I get that, but before then, she still wasn't a great actor.
Mhm.
She still wasn't good. So maybe it's time to pick another profession. But I'm interested to hear about the person that you really like their performance.
My British chick, Olivia Colman. Is that
There
her?
you
Is
go.
that her?
Yeah, that's her name.
Boy,
Hmm.
she I had never seen her in anything before, and the way she just delivered her lines, it was just, yo, this chick, she's kind of nice. She can act. It's like some of the
Uh-huh.
scenes that she was doing, like one of the torture scene. It's just she just had a real gangster mentality about it. It was just like, man, I don't give a fuck. That's kind of how she made it seem.
Oh yeah, no,
And
she's
that's just
good.
what I liked about her.
Yeah, she's a very good actor. Everything I've seen her in, I've seen her in a few things. The one that always comes to my mind the most is The King's Speech. Um, but she's been in a lot of things. She's been in a lot of British shows. But
Mm,
she's not bad. She wasn't bad in the show. She
mm,
wasn't bad in the show.
mm,
Uh,
mm.
but Joe, two people can't carry a series when it's an ensemble cast. I
Yeah, I
didn't even
mean,
like Don Cheadle's performance,
that's what I was about to say. His performance, it
and I
just,
love Don Cheadle.
eh, eh, I don't know if he was just, he just couldn't convince me. It was just,
Hmm.
mm, you're not selling it. It's like I like you better as War Machine, but
Yeah, yep, yep.
this, eh,
Mm. Yeah,
mm,
they wasted him. They
yeah,
wasted him. He was the only person that ended up being a scroll from the Marvel pantheon,
mhm.
and it was a super big letdown because they just gave it away. There was no there was no intrigue, no is he or isn't he? It just was. His
Did
reveal
that
was
happen like
done
the third episode?
like the third episode, and nobody was around. the the freaking person just changed from Don Cheadle to a scroll in its bathroom for the
Yep.
audience.
Ah, let down.
Yeah, a huge letdown. But if you want to see Don Cheadle in something amazing, Black Monday on I think it's on Showtime. That's a great show. That's a great show. He acts his ass off on there.
I have to look at. I have to check
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one out.
yeah, for sure. All right. The last point I want to call out is the special effects.
Mm,
The makeup for the scrolls and the costume people did a good job of setting the tone for what they wanted to create a political thriller. If they had kept it more grounded level, I think people would have been more forgiving. The last episode threw all of that out the window. They did a big finale, big brawl that they're known to do. The
mhm.
saddest part is that it's always the least interesting part of a film or their TV series. These niggas really don't know how to close out anything. When Clark, Amelia Clark had that little Drax arm, and it's already
Mm.
been memed all to hell, I totally blanked out. I had to watch the episode again a few days later just to force my brain to pay attention. When I saw that little arm, I immediately opened my phone and started playing on my phone. The resolution of this series took all the weight, which there wasn't even that much, out of the story. Pulling the old switcheroo only works if the protagonist and the antagonist have said everything they need to say to each other. Gavin saying it to her, once you know what the trick is, doesn't have nearly the same impact. Sam, how did you feel about that last episode? Because I feel like that's going to be the one that just kills it for everybody.
Oh yeah, that last episode was garbage. It did not do any justice to a already failing TV show.
Hmm.
It was like that. The the CGI was horrible. Um,
Why even
like
do it?
yeah, it's like you could have done so many things, but you chose this. And what I did like before was the natural CGI of the scrolls changes to human, vice versa.
Hmm.
I think that was very smooth. That was some of the best CGI I've seen
Hmm.
in a while from Marvel. But then they go and do that last scene and it just fucks it all up. And I'm just like, well, Back to what
The
you know, I
little yeah,
guess.
the little bit of goodwill that I had garnered from trying to do a good job with the scroll transitions was just squandered.
Mhm.
That's the best word for it, and I don't think they recover from that.
No, no, especially not with that last bullshit, if you wanna call it, a scene, a
If
fight.
you wanna call it that.
Mm.
What were they thinking? Who greenlit who said, "Okay, this is what we're going to do"? Big
Ew, sound
big
like a
mistake.
AI writing this shit.
It sound so, you know the opening, and I haven't done the research, this is just what I've heard everybody say, and I should do my research. So, typically what I like to do is I like to look up things before I start talking about it, but this it looked accurate. The opening titles crawl is supposedly created by an AI,
Hmm,
and there was a big stink where people were arguing about it. Is it a good idea? Is it a good thing? Uh, it was definitely not interesting.
no.
And
Mm-mm.
I think because I do believe that the Apple TV movie with Chris Pine and Anna de Armas, and I can't Ghosted. I almost couldn't think of the name, but I remember Ghosted.
Mm. Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
saying that was written by AI, and it was bland, bland. So it seems like a computer program has they typed in the things that they wanted it to do, and they gave it the things that they have done before, and this is what it created. And
Mm.
it's bad. It's
It's
it's bad. It's soulless.
it's it's almost like what they did in She-Hulk. It's like, "Oh, y'all thought that that was fake? Oh, that's real.
Mhm.
That's we gonna start doing that."
Yeah, we can't go there. People are clamoring for Fantastic Four and the X-Men. I keep telling everybody, "You don't want that. Not right now. You wanna wait
Mm,
until
yeah.
Marvel does a reset and they're good again, and then you want those things. Because if they do it right now, it's not gonna be good."
No, no, it's just Marvel's just they oversaturated. It's just literally I personally am superhero fatigued out. And it's like I am almost tired of looking at superheroes. It's give me something else or just give me give me something different. It's just the same superhero stuff. It's like, "Oh,
I get that. I get that. I don't think I can, but just because it's so close to me, I don't think I can be superhero fatigue, but I can be bad movie and bad TV show fatigue. And if
oh,
it's bad,
okay."
if it's bad, I'm out. Give it to me good. All
Yeah.
homo. Hey people, we'll talk about that at a different time.
Well then, yeah,
Make the
it's
things well. Make the things with care and attention. Don't just throw things out because you said you were going to do it. I get that Kevin Feige had this long path chart that he was going to do all these different things that were going to come out. That doesn't mean that you have to do them just because you said you were going to do them if you can't do them well.
I agree. Don't give me no half-baked bullshit.
For real. All right. Final verdict.
Mm,
Don't watch this shit. That's easy.
no.
That's easy. Eventually, Marvel will get their shit together and they will probably reference this material. But what you can do is just read a short synopsis of this show and be caught up. No
Yeah.
reason to watch 6 episodes that range from anywhere from 55 to 38 minutes. The episode lengths on these things are another indication that they did not clearly have a defined plan. I know streaming takes away the need for structuring your shows in the old conventions of television, but some of the old ways are still good. Having a clearly defined episode runtime means you have to properly plan full stories in each episode that run
Mm,
together to form a bigger story. This shit here,
mhm.
I'm done. I'm done. Sam, give your final thoughts.
No. Oh, yeah, don't watch it. Don't watch it. It was good. Like, maybe the first 3 episodes was good, but then after you
I
hit
would say too.
the top of the roller coaster, it just goes downhill quick, fast, in a hurry. So don't waste your time. Like Sin said, just read a synopsis and you'll be caught up if they ever reference this dumpster fire again. I hope they, but they don't. They kind of backed themselves in the corner with what they
Where they
did.
had
So
to, and that's why I said it's gonna bite them in the
yeah,
ass.
but yeah, don't
Stupid.
watch this.
All right. Thank you for listening to another episode of Watch This Shit. You come here for the realest take on new movies and now TV, I guess. So make sure you follow us so that you're not left in the dark on whether you should check out a new release or not. If you haven't seen this shit yet, go on about your life. Don't even worry about it. Matter of fact, you're doing good. Damn, you're doing good. Check us out next time when we review Meg to the Trench. Ugh. And good day to you.
Peace.